Right, this is a very, very big objective. It asks you to look at the range, the mean, the median and the mode. So you need to understand how to find all of those for this particular objective. But then the other part of it is that you need to be able to compare two sets of data, which is the bit I'm going to focus on. So very quickly, let's have a look at this question. It's a group of children taking a spelling test twice, once in January and once in February. Their scores in January are these numbers here, and in February they're these numbers here. So it says, how would you describe the group's progress in spelling from January to February? So how have they done between that time? It says justify your answer, which means prove your answer. You can't just say, yeah, they got better, and say that that's your answer. You need to justify it by using the mean, the median, the mode, and the range to help you. So this video is a bit quicker than it could be. I've already worked out all the mean, median, mode, and ranges, but let me just remind you of each of them. These are 3 averages, and the range is slightly different, but we put it in with the averages because it helps us analyse data. To find the mean, what you have to do, let's look at January, which are these numbers here. You have to add them all up and divide them between how many there are. So to find the mean, you add up all the numbers in the set of data and you divide them between how many there are. There's 7 here. So I added them all up and it made 105. 105 divided by 7 was 15, so that's the mean for January. I did the same for February. They added up to 112, so already we've got a bit of a difference. This is the scores in January and this is the scores in February, so we see it's a bit higher in February when we add them all up. I divided them between 7 and I got 16. So the mean average in January was 15 and in February was 16. The median means middle, okay? You put the data set in order from smallest to biggest, which is what I did, and then you pick the middle one. So the middle one gave me 16 for January and 15 for February, so it's lower in February. We then get to the mode. Now, the mode is the one that happens the most, and if you look in the January one, there's 2 numbers that happen twice, 13 and 16, so I couldn't just put one number. Whereas in February, it's 20, 3 children got 20, so the mode, the most often number was 20. The range is when you've got them all in order, you look at the difference between the biggest and the smallest number. So the range for in January was 6 when I found the difference, and 8 in February. That took me a bit of time to do, but they're how you find each of those averages. So now if you need to go back, you can always look at the video again and listen to my explanation of each of those averages. Now I've got all my data, let's think about the second half of that objective, which is to really think about the progress that these children have made. So I want to think about, first of all, I can say that most of the averages have gone up, apart from the median, which has gone down one. But if you think about the median is the middle number, whereas the mode is the number that happens most, and look how much better the mode is in February. More children are getting 20 than they're getting, whereas in January they were getting lower numbers. So I think that mode is really helpful for proving that in February they've made a lot of progress. We can also see that the mean has gone up by 1, just by 1. So you could comment on that. You could say the average, the mean average is the children are getting 1 more mark, which is really good. The median has gone down by 1, but we've discussed that already. And then if you have a look at the range has got bigger in February than January. So what does that tell me? That tells me that the range of numbers that the children are getting, the range of results the children are getting is bigger in February. So there's still some children who maybe are not doing as well as they did before, but there are some children, the mode tells us, that are getting much higher results. So that's a lot of talking and not writing it down. You would be writing it down. But you can see that I was able to say a lot just from looking at that data, and I just went all the way through each one and told you what they told me about the spelling test. Alright, so try and find yourself another question just like mine and see if you can talk just as much as I did about all of those averages.